Welcome to My The Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. Welcome to Am I the Asshole Podcast. It is the Sunday show. Let's go, baby. Oh, man. You know what it is. It is a Sunday episode. Is that week. Oh, baby. It has been a rough week for your boy. Oh, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I had an amazing vacation week the week before, and then this week has just been rough. Only because I've been dealing with a sickness that's just been, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. I'm surviving it. Don't get me wrong. But God, I hear it's a thing that's been going around though, because even a lot of my coworkers are getting sick too, and I was like, "Oh shit, did I get you sick?" You know what I mean? I was so worried about that, but no, a lot of people were just like, "Nah, man, it's just some shit going around." So, you know, I hope you guys are good. Hopefully, you guys aren't sick, and you have this weird head cold thing that's been going around. It's been annoying. I almost wasn't gonna record, but I was just like, no, fucking make an episode, you know what I mean? Like, do it for the peoples, you know, they need their Sunday episode. Because I was like, you know, you little bastards, you already got your Tuesday and Thursday episode. But I was like, no, you guys need a Sunday episode, so I'm here to give you a Sunday episode. Hopefully I don't sound like super nasally. A lot of times when I listen back to it in the editing and stuff, I'm not too nasally, so everything should be pretty good. But we're going to go ahead and get into today's thread. Today's thread is pretty interesting. And it is, what's something that shouldn't turn you on but does? All right. So let's see what makes you horny and it shouldn't, you know. All right. First one. Wearing thigh highs and a skirt. Like, it makes me happy and all, but it's kind of annoying to get a hard on every time I want to look pretty and feel happy. Okay. Wait. What? Hold on. Like, okay, I'm for the thigh highs and the skirt shit. That's amazing. But is this the person that sent it in said that it makes them happy, but it's kind of annoying that they get a hard on every time they want to look pretty and feel like, wait, is this a dude wearing thigh highs and a skirt? Like, wait, what? Like I said, I'm all for that combination. That combination is fucking amazing. But is the dude wearing it? I guess so. I guess the dude is wearing it, and that's why. So he gets turned on by seeing himself in thigh highs and a skirt. So that's why it makes him horny, but it shouldn't. I see. Okay. All right, because like it wasn't clicking, and I'm like, wait a minute here, like I'm for it, but why did you word it that way? You know what I mean? Okay, all right, okay, hey, you know, all right, let's get on to the next one. What's something that shouldn't turn you on, but it does? Wait, hold on, what? Oh, okay. I have no explanation for it, but when my boyfriend is masked, his eyes just pop up, and the way he sees me just melts me. It's weird because it doesn't happen without a mask. So she's pretty much just like the lower half of your face, babe. Ain't gonna lie, just ain't it. But like from here up, that's my shit. I guarantee you they probably started dating during COVID. I guarantee you they started dating during COVID because she probably saw him with the mask on and was like, oh man, he must be super attractive. And then, you know, the mask came off and she was like, well, you know, yeah, like, can you put that mask back on? Because I know there was a lot of dudes that happened to, where they would like saw a girl and she's wearing the mask and they're like, dang, I bet she's pretty cute. She took the mask off, and they're like, oh, well, I mean, you know. My dog's on fire. I gotta go home. Like there was a lot of that going on. So I guarantee you they met during COVID. All right. Damn, I don't know why it does that. What's something that shouldn't turn you on, but it does? Okay. Weird enough, my reflection. What? Come on, man. All right, get the fuck out of here. Like, come on, bro. What the fuck? All right. What is something? What is something that shouldn't turn you on, but it does? When I lost my virginity, it was with a girl who was wearing one of those red lumberjack shirts, half open and no bra. Since that day, when my wife wears that kind of shirt, things get sporting fast. I never told her about it, but of course, she figured it out pretty quickly. Now I'm living with a nymphomaniac lumberjack girl with no bra. Hey, man, if it works, it works. I ain't gonna lie to you though. The little when they wear the I guess you'd say lumber. Nah, let's say plaid button ups. Let's say that because I'm sure he's alluding to that. But when they wear the little plaid button ups and then they like tie the front and they be showing their little belly. Oh, woo! That right there. Yeah, that right there, buddy. That's the shit. That's the shit right there. Yeah. Yeah, that right there, man. That's my shit right there. All right. What's something that shouldn't turn you on, but it does? Dentist feeling around my mouth with gloved hands. Obviously, they're gloved, but it's the feeling of gloves.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Okay. That's a little weird. Personally, like when whenever, they have their hands in there and they're touching my teeth with the gloves, I hate the way it feels. It feels like nails on a chalkboard type feeling for me. When they like their gloved hand is like touching on my teeth and shit. Nah, man. Nah, that's to each its own, I guess, but I don't I don't know how you could even like be attracted to that. That's just, I guess that is just weird, man. That's weird. All right. What's something that shouldn't turn you on, but it does? Tired eyes, bags underneath someone's eyes. I don't know why. What? Motherfucker, you like your bitches tired? You know what I mean? Like you like your bitches tired? You just like, damn, that bitch is sleepy. That's my shit. I guess so. I wonder how you like develop that, I guess, turn on. Where would that kind of turn on come from? Because it makes no sense to me that you would just like naturally be turned on by that. Like there's no way you could just naturally be turned on. There had to have been a situation, or there had to have been like a scenario where I don't know, he was maybe he was dating a really pretty girl that didn't have bags, and then all of a sudden she did one day, and he was just like, you know what? I can't even like come up with a scenario where you would even develop that kind of turn on. That's, hey, this show be teaching you something, man. Teaches you something every single day. All right, what's something that shouldn't turn you on, but it does? I find a woman with an extremely hoarse voice very sexy for some reason. Once upon a time, my ex-girlfriend's best friend was getting over strep, and every time she would talk, I would get hard as trigonometry. I mean, so you like girls that... no, they necessarily wouldn't have like... Because I was going to say, do you like girls that have more dude-resemblant voices, But I don't think hoarse voice is more of that. I think it's more of just like, oh, yeah, okay, I guess it's the same way how like some girls like a dude's voice when he's sick because it's like deeper. So maybe it's in the same vein as that. But again, like is her voice higher? Is that why? Because I would think for a girl, like since dudes, when we get like strep throat or we have like sore throats or whatever, our voice gets lower. And I understand why girls would like that. They like the more deeper tone, whatever. But I guess for a girl, wouldn't it be like her voice is higher? So then he would be like, ooh, I like a higher voice kind of thing. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Like, y'all motherfuckers got some weird ass turn-ons, man. And I'm trying to like make sense of them and being like, okay, how would someone have that kind of turn on? Like, I get it. Look, that's you, do you think? But again, it's like, I want to dig into the psychology of like, how would you come to that conclusion of just like, that's sexy, that's hot, yeah, I don't know. You guys let me know down in the comments. What's something that shouldn't turn you on but does? Getting a boner in public. If I think about anything sexual, I get hard, but the fact that I'm hard makes me horny and hard. Wait, what? So my man is just like, damn, like that girl's ass looks really fine. And then he's like, oh man, I'm hard. Oh man, the fact that I'm hard is making me horny. Like, I guess next minute I'm in the toilets waiting to calm down, or if no one is there, I jack it off. All right, man. You gotta wait till you get home, bro. That's crazy. But I don't understand how the act of being hard would make you hard. Like, what? I guess he's kind of looking at it like, okay, the fact that I'm hard and then it makes me horny, but I would think the horny comes before the hard, like obviously something, you gotta think of something horny, see something that, would make you horny and then you get hard. Like, I thought that was the order of operations, right? But maybe not. Maybe for him it's backwards. Maybe he's just like, his dick just gets hard and he's like, oh shit. And then it makes him think horny. You know what I mean? Again, like, I'm trying to make sense of you guys' weird ass fucking turn-ons because these are weird, bro. These are kind of weird. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm like baffled at the fact that people could actually be turned on by these things. And I'm like, I guess it sort of makes sense. It does, but it doesn't. I don't know. All right. What's something that shouldn't turn you on, but it does? Hearing someone talk passionately about something like music or films, for example. Also, men with deep voices, although I don't think that's necessarily something that shouldn't turn me on. Yeah, because look, all right. And this is a girl that sent this one in. I get, you're trying to be like, oh my God, that turns me on. That's a guy talking so passionately. Come on, man.
Stop the cap.
All right, let's be real here. that is not something that makes the coochie wet, bro. It doesn't, because you gotta understand that dude is already gotta be very attractive to some degree in order for you to even think that way about him talking passionately. So it's like you're putting the cart before the horse, and so it's like not any guy could just be passionately talking about something that he's really invested in, and you be like, oh my God, my coochie's wet. It's just not going to happen that way. You're kind of assuming the attraction is already there in the guy, and then him passionately talking about, his love of something would turn you on. So that's why I call cap on that. And then you gave me a real one, so I'm like, come on now. Because the real one is obviously the deep voice thing. It would be a thing where the guy would have a deep voice and you would find that attractive. You wouldn't necessarily sleep with the dude or date him or whatever, but just the fact that he has a deep voice would attract you. You know what I mean? So, come on now. Let's be real. What's something that shouldn't turn you on, but it does? Very skinny women and small boobies. I won't lie to you. I am an itty bitty titty committee guy. I won't lie. I am an itty bitty titty committee guy. I recently, Not recently. I want to say I kind of like developed, I think, that like for girls with smaller boobs once I started working out in the gym a lot more. And I would start to notice like a lot of the really attractive girls that were in the gym, they would have smaller boobs, but they'd have great bodies and them fat booties. And I'm just like, yeah, this is my shit. I've noticed that's kind of like my archetype right now is the itty bitty titty committee and just like bodacious and they don't have the booty ain't got to be like crazy big, nah, man, you just gotta have a handful of roundness back there and we're chilling, we're fine. A lot of like girls that I see, who are kind of a little more well endowed, they're to me it's like I want to be nice about it, but at the same time, it's so hard to be nice about it. But I'm gonna be 100% real, whether it's offensive or not. I'm gonna be 100% real. A lot of girls that have bigger boobs, they tend to be just a little fatter. Let's be honest here. All right, they tend to be a little fatter in the waist area. They tend to be a little fatter in general. And so for me, I'm like correlating it to where it's like little titties, she's got a greater body, she's got bigger boobs, then she's more likely gonna have a bit of a chunkier body, and it just is what it is. And so that's, I think, where I kind of got that correlation from, where I'm like, oh, you know what, itty bitty titty committee, that's my shit, and then on top of that, I just like very skinny girls in general, just because they tend to be smaller, and I like me a more smaller girl. And I think a lot of guys do in that regard. But there are some dudes that I know that they like the big girls. And I'm not saying like fat, but they like it more curvy or thick if you want to. And I put thick in quotations because a lot of girls think they're thick, and it's just like, nah, girl, you ain't thick, you're fat. Let's just get that straight. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm going to keep it on dopey with you. If it's offensive, but I'm going to keep it on dopey. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm a big proponent of you can get in the gym. You know what I mean? I really am. There's no excuse. All right. What's something that shouldn't turn you on but does? Girls eating bananas, girls with nose studs, a pregnant mom gets me hot in the pants. Nigga, hold up, bro. Hold up, man. Wait, how did we go from bananas to pregnant moms, bro? Like, what? Come. So you're telling me that you see a pregnant woman and you're like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, what the? I will never understand. I don't want to say it's a fetish, but maybe it is. But I don't understand this pregnant woman trope thing where dudes are just like, oh, yeah, like fucking pregnant women. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I would think it's just weird. And I'm just like, bro, you got an alien in your belly. And I'm like poking it. And nah, man. Nah, unless it's like my girl. You know what I mean? She's pregnant with my child, then it's a little different. Then it's like, all right, cool. Yeah, I could see my girl pregnant and that's hot. But if it's just some random chick and she's pregnant, I'm like, bro, I just don't see that as attractive. I don't see that as hot. I'm just like, oh my God, she's pregnant. She's about to have a baby. You know what I mean? Y'all motherfuckers, y'all crazy. Now, the girls with nose studs, they got to have a face for it, if I'm being honest with you. Because there's a lot of girls who do like the septum one, and they either get like really big ass fucking piercings, which just kills it, or they just don't got a face for it. And I'm like, bro, 90% of the girls who do the septum piercing have a face for it, but for some reason that 10% for some reason feel like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get one, and it's just like it don't look right. And then obviously the whole like the side ones, I'm like, I guess, you know what I mean. I know a lot of girls are like getting it on both sides, and then they like connect it with a little bridge thing. That's kind of hot. Won't lie to you, the little bridge thing, that shit's kind of hot. I've seen a few girls do it, and I'm like, that's That's pretty hot. Now it's kind of like an e-girl thing is what I've noticed. I could be wrong with that. You know what I mean? I'm old out here, so you could correct me if I'm wrong, you youngins. But yeah, I've seen a couple girls do the whole, they have both, but they do a little bridge, and I'm just like, that's kind of cute. I like that. You know what I mean? That ain't that bad. Oh, man. Yeah, that motherfucker's crazy. Hey, bro, you need some help. you need some help. This nigga went from eating bananas to pregnant women. That's crazy, bro. All right, what's something that shouldn't turn you on but does? When my boyfriend looks at me with hate after I irritate him on purpose. Oh, so you like to get hate fucked. Yeah, you like to get hate fucked. This girl is just like, I want my man out here pounding the shit out of me. Like, you crazy. You are something else. You a dirty one out here. She's like, yeah, I want him to hate fuck me. And, you know, that's what it is. She's like, come get it. You know what I mean? I guarantee you she'd be doing that type of shit all the time. She'd be doing some mad, like, fucked up shit to just get him really pissed off, and then, you know, she'll be jerking him off, and he'd be like, stop, what the fuck are you doing? You know? She's just like, oh, you won't do it? And my man does it. Alright. God damn it. Okay. What's something that shouldn't turn you on but does? Like hardcore choking, face red, can't make a noise, gotta tap out choking. Damn, girl, you're crazy. Me? No, I don't fuck with the whole choking and BDSM shit. No, I don't fuck with that no more. Nah, man. Nah, because if I'm being honest with you, that gets too much into the territory of, like, you know, he abuses me type. Nah, I'm good. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand some girls wouldn't use it against their guy, but it's one of those, you're taking a big ass 50-50 risk, man. You know, like, you do it and it's all consensual, and then all of a sudden she gets mad at you, and then it's not consensual no more, and it's like, yeah, he choked me out while we were having sex and I didn't consent to it, and it's like, nah, man. Nah, that's rough. That's too rough for me. I'm like, I can't do that. Even like the whole slapping and all that kind of, I'll slap your booty all day long. You know what I mean? I'll slap your booty cheeks till they're like red, turning purple, all that good shit. But I'm not about to, you know, slap you in the face or choke you out, leaving marks on your neck and shit like that. Like, I'll leave hickeys and shit. That's cool. But again, I'm not about to do the whole like violent like marks and shit. Nah, that's crazy. That's too crazy. No, thank you. All right, what's something that shouldn't turn you on but does? Being smothered by a pillow. Y'all need Jesus, man. God damn, y'all need Jesus. Something about having someone attempting to end your life turns me on. I had a longtime partner who finally did it to me, but was too scared to do it for long periods of time. Only maybe 5 seconds, and I could still breathe. See, look, bro. Nah, man. No. What the fuck? I'd see shit. If I started dating a girl like that, I would have to break up with her. I'd be like, look, bro, you are a little too much. You know, again, I'll take a riding crop to your ass or some shit. You know what I mean? I'll like hit you with the belt or something. You know, we could do something like that. But again, I'm not about to be putting your life in danger. I'm not about to do that. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. And then it's one of those, like, what, you get bored of this, and then what, you want me to brand you next? You know, motherfucker got a branding tool in the bedroom and shit, and he's just like, on her butt, like, bro, see, y'all, it's crazy, man. Y'all are crazy. That's too much. That's too much, man. That is too much. All right. This is going to be the last one for this thread. What is something that shouldn't turn you on, but it does? Surgical masks. Like, actually, though, I found myself accidentally near orgasm at work without even doing anything, because even without the mandates, half the people who come through the door still wear them, and I don't really have a choice but to, because of health. What? Surgical masks? I feel like this person is kind of like the other girl, where she likes her boyfriend, you know, when he wears a mask because of his eyes or whatever. Like, obviously they met during COVID time. Is this one of those things where, you know, you're in that same boat where you're just like, oh yeah, a person from here up looks really sexy? I guess. I mean, maybe, obviously for them, they've developed it because they work in the medical field, so it's kind of like that's how it's developed for them. But again, I'm like, I don't see how that would sexually turn me on. Sure, it may be a thing where I look at the person and I'm like, damn, they're very attractive from like the, you know, from the nose up or whatever. But again, I don't know how that would be like attractive enough to where, you know, your boy is out here pitching a tent and hardest trigonometry. I just don't see it. You know, I just don't see it. I don't know. Maybe you guys can let me know down in the comments, or you can let me know what turns you on that, you know, it shouldn't, down in the comments. Get a part of the thread. Let me know what you guys got going on, because y'all be attracted to some crazy shit, man. Crazy shit. Like I said, this podcast be teaching me stuff all the time about just how crazy the world really is, and just how people think. You know what I mean? Like, you would never think, like, think about it. All the people that you see on a day-to-day basis, where you're going to the grocery store, you're going to the park, you're hanging out with friends, you're at the bar, whatever the case may be, all these people that you see, you never really know what's going on, like, in their head and stuff. And I feel like this podcast kind of brings out that public, and it allows me to kind of like read their mind a little bit. And it really trips me the fuck out a lot of times, the shit that people actually like and think about and go through. It's craziness, man. But again, let me know what turns you on, you know, but it shouldn't, you know what I mean? What shouldn't turn you on, but it does. Let me know down in the comments. Get a part of the thread, all that good stuff. Share with your boy. Yeah, y'all crazy, man. Y'all absolutely crazy. But I love it. Yeah, I mean, we're going to hop into announcements real quick, and then we will get into the scenario sent in by you lovely people, as well as the Patreons. So patreon.com/Am I the Asshole podcast. Get an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show, like these people did for today. All right. Yeah, man, we're growing the Patreon steady and strong. We have almost 30 members on the Patreon, so I'm super excited about that. But yeah, man, definitely get in on the Patreon, man. Get in, check that out. We have a strong little community over there, which is really nice, and I do enjoy that so much, and I hope to grow it even further. And it's one of those things where, man, you're getting over 100 hours of extra content over there. You know what I mean? So it's definitely worth checking it out at least 1 month. You know what I mean? You get in there 1 month, you check it out, see if it's for you, you know, and that's what almost 30 people did. They got in there, they paid the $3 to check it out, and they were like, you know what? I like this. It's one of those things where, you know, if you're already listening to the podcast to kill time, it's just more content to kill time with, if I'm being honest with you. So definitely get in there, check it out. Links are down in the description, all that good stuff. All my links to everything that I mentioned and talk about in this segment will always be down in there, and everything's nice and organized for you guys. Don't worry. I do the hard work and the heavy lifting, so you guys don't have to. I try to make everything one click away, to where you guys can find what you're looking for in my content. So, you know, if you're just looking for the Thursday episodes, boom, they're there. If you're looking for a specific book that we're covering or that we covered, boom, it's there. If you're looking, you know, to get to TikTok, or you're trying to get to Spotify, whatever the case may be, boom, everything is there. So, and I try to make sure that I have everything set for YouTube, as well as listening platforms, because a lot of you guys listen on listening platforms. I would say over 87% of you guys actually are on listening platforms, while the rest of you guys are on YouTube. So that is a huge thing. And I shout out to my my audio listeners, man. You guys are the best. You guys are super awesome, because you guys when I see my analytics and stuff like that, it really shows me that you guys are coming back every week, loving the content, enjoying what we got going on over here. And I do love that so much, man. I think this month has been our highest month of downloads in ever, if I'm being honest with you, if I'm being straight. This has been the highest month, because you guys have been absolutely killing it. So I thank you so much. And downloading is free. Rating the show 5 stars, absolutely free. My thing is, I try to make this show and my content as accessible as possible for you guys, and as free as possible. You know what I mean? The only thing I ask for you guys to ever pay for as far as support is Patreon. And even then, I'm giving you guys way more value than what you're paying for, and I'm never going to change the price. I'm going to keep it $3 forever. And that's just what it is, so you guys definitely get in there, check it all out. Appreciate you guys. Keep downloading the podcast as well as rating us 5 stars. All that helps, and it's free to do so. If you want to help out even more on the free 99 side of things, and you're thinking, you know what? I'll help them out even more. Follow us on TikTok as well as Instagram, and subscribing on YouTube helps out a lot. We are trying to hit 2K on YouTube by the end of the year. That is my goal. If we could surpass that and get even more, that would be awesome. But again, so showing that support really helps us out. We have live streams every Monday. I try to stream on Fridays and Sundays, but a lot of times I like to take those days off just to relax, because it's my days off from work, as well as it's my days where I shoot the content. And so a lot of times I like to just shoot the content and then relax for the rest of the day. But sometimes I will stream on Fridays and Sundays, but Mondays are always our stream days. So you can always catch me live on Monday. And yeah, man. Just keep supporting. Love you guys. Appreciate everything. And we go live on Twitch, Kick, as well as YouTube and TikTok. So whatever you get your live streams on, I'm there, baby. I got you. All right. So without further ado, let's get on into our scenarios for today. We have our first one. It is, am I wrong for suggesting to partner that he is lying as he smells like perfume? So what, you think he's cheating because he smells like another girl's perfume? Let's see. A boyfriend came home from work today smelling of male perfume. I noticed it when I leaned for a kiss. I was surprised as he doesn't use perfume, but initially shrugged it off because when I asked him about it, he said a male colleague was wearing heavy perfume at work today, which must have rubbed off on him. After mulling it over, I found it weird, as I don't think perfume can transfer to someone just by simply talking to them. So I suggested to him that he is lying and he must have used it before going to work. Am I wrong for being accusatory? Has anyone experienced perfume transfer on their skin/clothes from another person without physical contact? Yes, I have. Because there's a girl at my job. This girl wears so much fucking perfume. You can smell where she's been. All right. And it's crazy. Anytime that she's around and I don't even have to be talking to her. She could just fucking walk by. I'll smell like her perfume for at least a couple minutes, just because she wears it that fucking heavy. So yes, you technically can. For him to still have it on enough to where you can smell it, that maybe it's a thing where he may have come in contact with the dude, or you know what I mean, it might have been a thing where he gave him dap or some shit, I don't know. But I mean, why would you, my issue, and the reason why I think you're the asshole, is because you went straight to being you're a liar. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of fucked up, because it's bro, hold up. For one, why would dude lie to you about cologne or perfume, if you will. Why would he lie to you about that? I think that's kind of fucked up. Because again, like, why would dude lie to you? And why? And then on top of that, it's like, why would you accuse homeboy of lying right off the bat? Why wouldn't you just give your boyfriend the benefit of the doubt and believe him? And then if you were, you found out otherwise, then you call him a liar. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of shows me that you don't really trust your partner in this relationship, is what that shows me. I mean, think about it. As something as small as him coming home smelling like, and I thought he was smelling like another girl because she used the word perfume. She didn't use the word cologne. So that's what made me think like, oh, so, you know what I mean? Do you think he's lying because he was just like, oh, I was some girl and, she wafted by or whatever. And it's like, I think you're lying. Like, are you talking to this girl? Are you hugging her? Whatever it can be. But the fact that you're like, it's a dude, like, what the fuck? What's wrong? You know what I mean? So that's where I think you're the asshole at, is the fact that you accused him of lying, like, right off the bat. You didn't even give the dude a benefit of doubt, and he's supposed to be your man. Like, that's kind of crazy to me. I mean, unless it's a gay couple. You know what I mean? That could be it, too. It could. Now, if this is a gay relationship, if it's two dudes, then maybe I could see the reason why, maybe I could see it then, because obviously he looks at it like, oh shit, somebody's trying to move on to my mans. But again, I would assume that the dude who he got the perfume from or whatever, isn't gay. I wouldn't think, you know what I mean? Let's assume that he is. I would still think you're the asshole for just assuming your boyfriend is lying. Like, I would still think you're the asshole regardless, because either way you spin this, it comes down to the fact that you don't trust your partner, and I think that's a big point of it, where that is the big red flag of it, is that you don't trust your partner. And since you don't trust your partner, you're going straight to like, he's lying, and that's super fucked up. And I think that's why you're an asshole. But yes, it can happen. Somebody could be just wearing shit so heavy to where, again, you can smell where they've been, and that's just the way it is. Like, I have a coworker, she puts on so much fucking perfume, it's ridiculous. Like I said, you can smell where that girl's been. It's wild. Like, she'll already be out of the area, but it smells like her. And you're like, what the fuck? Where is she? You're like looking around, and she's like halfway across the fucking room, and you're like, huh? What? Okay, I guess so. Like, it just happens that way. And sometimes I've come home smelling like her perfume, and I'm like, oh shit. Oh, damn, I didn't even know. You know what I mean? It just happens like that. So, but yeah, you're an asshole. You don't trust your partner, and I don't know why. I think that's kind of fucked up. But hey, it is what it is. All right, on to our next one. Am I overreacting? Toxic friendship. All right, let's see what's up. Invited my friend over to hang out, and it came to a point where she got hungry. She knows she can help herself in my house. Mind you, I have a lot of food choices, but we still do need to make it to the store. She complains there is nothing and that she wants to go home and that I need to go grocery shopping before inviting friends over. And goes and calls her aunt saying how bad she wants to leave. Couple of days later, I spend the night at her house and her mom ordered a pizza and I wasn't hungry. And she was like, what are you going to do? Just starve yourself all the time? You never eat. And continued to talk about how I starve myself in front of her mom. Not sure if I'm just overreacting, but this does upset me. Yeah, because it's like, bitch, you got something to say? You know what I mean? Like, are you like thinking some shit that, you don't want to tell me? Now, look, I understand that, if your company is, hungry and you don't have anything to, I guess, for the company to eat, then I understand that. But at the same time, you don't need to be rude about it. You know, like think about it like this. Me growing up, I never grew up in, like, I would say, a financially well-off family. You know what I mean? And so we never really had, like, food in the fridge like that. You know what I mean? And so, and understandable. I mean, it was like, bro, it's either the lights and water on or have food in the refrigerator. You know what I mean? You choose. And so when I would have friends over and stuff like that, you know what I mean? We didn't really have, you know what I mean, food like that. You know what I mean? Little niggas was eating like crackers and fucking cheese and, you know what I mean? Like, we were eating struggle meals type shit. And so, like, my mom would crack open the fucking Top Ramen and make a big ass pot of that, you know, and you know, she would dispense that shit out like we had a fucking soup kitchen and shit. You know what I mean? Like that's how it was for me in my house growing up when my friends would come over. Like, we didn't have pizza and chicken wings and all that shit. We just didn't have that. And that's just the way it was. And so, you know, for me, to some degree, that was embarrassing, but my friends were never rude about it. You know what I mean? Like, sure, they would point it out and be like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, and I would tell them, like, oh, look, you know, my parents, they just don't got money like that. You know, we're just not well off like you guys. Because a lot of my friends, they always did, well, you know, better financially than me. You know, when it came to, like, they would always have the newest this or the newest that, or, you know, and I would go to their house. And, like, I remember, my best friend at the time, I was in middle school, and I think he was like a couple years younger than me, maybe like 2 or 3 years younger than me. And I remember when the PlayStation 3 came out back in like 2007. And I remember his family, you know, they were a little more well off than mine was. And they had bought a PlayStation 3. I thought that was the coolest fucking thing in the world. I was like, oh my God, yo, you got a PlayStation 3 when it came out. You know, that motherfucker was like $800. And so there's no way my parents could afford one. You know, I was on the Google as a kid all the time, you know, looking at PlayStation 3s. And, you know, that was like my life. And so it was one of those things where, like, for me, I would go to his house all the time to play it and stuff like that. But whenever he'd come over to mine, it was a thing where, you know, we was back on the PS2. You know what I mean? We were playing the fucking 8-bit SOCOM and fucking whatever we had on PS2 at that time, and Madden and all that kind of stuff. You know, PS3 was like that first, you know, 3D digital age where, you know, character models were as realistic as ever. And I mean, shit, the PS3 was revolutionary when it came out. And so it was one of those things where it was like, my friends were never rude about that, where they're just like, oh man, why do we have to eat Top Ramen? Oh, why do we have to do this? Blah, blah, blah. Oh man, you know, your house is boring. Like, they never did that. They always still came over to my house. I never understood why. I'm like, nigga, if I had a fucking PS3, I'd never be at somebody else's house. You know what I mean? I was that type. I had that kind of mindset. But I think it was one of those things where it was just like, my friends were actually friends for me. They weren't friends for like what I had and what my family had, you know? And so I think in this situation, you know, this girl is not necessarily really like your friend like that. You know what I mean? Because if you had a friend like that, she would just be happy to just be at your house. You know what I mean? Even though, like, oh shit, you guys don't have food in the refrigerator like that. You know what I mean? It's like, she wouldn't be so rude about it and be like, oh shit, well damn, like I'm kind of hungry, you know? And obviously y'all would, you know, figure something out. It's, y'all not gonna let your company starve, you know, and that's how like my family was. Shit, we was eating Tina burritos and fucking, like I said, bro, we didn't have it like that. We had the Tina's burritos, we had the fucking and all my old people out there, man, you know, we know what the Tina's burritos were. God damn, Tina's burritos, you know what I mean? They were $1 fucking frozen burritos. You throw that bitch in there for 2 minutes. That shit was amazing. But we had those. We had the Top Ramen. We had the little fucking dollar taquitos and shit. You know, it was that kind of stuff. And so obviously you're not gonna let your company starve. You know what I mean? But it was a thing where like my friends who are more well off than I was, they never, you know, complained like that, or they were never rude like that about my family situation. And so the fact that this girl was rude like that makes me realize that, you know what, you're not overreacting for thinking about how rude she's being, because it's like, yo, if you were my actual friend, you wouldn't be saying this kind of shit, you know. And then I go over to your house and we're having pizza and I'm like, oh no, I'm okay, I'm good on, you know, the pizza, and she wants to sit there and be like, oh, you never fucking eat, you're so skinny because you never eat. And it's like, well, shit, like, sorry, I guess, you know what I mean? So I don't think you're overreacting at all, just because of the situation that, or just the fact that, you know, she would say some shit like that. Personally, I don't even think this girl is your friend. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't think she's your friend. I think she's kind of one of those people where she's friends with you because she feels superior to you, you know, and that's so fucked up. Yeah, like that's some fucked up shit. Like they're only your friend because they feel superior to you. Like that's super fucked up. Because there are people that are like that. They'll be friends with people that they feel are below them because it makes them feel better. That shit's trash, man. But you guys let me know what you think about it in the comments. All right, on to our next one. Am I the asshole for threatening to throw a customer's food into the street? Yo, let's get into this one. All right, so I, 17 male, was at the time working at Wendy's. Sometimes when I needed to make food fresh, we'll have a customer pull forward to make sure we get everything out to our customer on time. Yes, okay, this is standard at almost every fast food place. Most customers don't have an issue with this. Here's where a male, Karen, approximately 65, comes in. Let's call him James. James was annoying from the start. He pulled up to the drive-thru and immediately started barking his order at me before I can even greet him. This is a really busy night and there are 3 cars in front of him waiting for their food. So I ask him to wait a second. Oh, okay, he says in an annoying and vaguely sarcastic tone, and then proceeds to try to order 5 seconds later. I ask him for a moment again, and he just ignored me and kept trying to order, saying that I'm going to take his order now, not in a minute. So I ignore him for the next 30 seconds while I take care of the customers in front of him. I finally take his order, and he speeds up the window so fast that he nearly rear ends the person in front of him. He's smoking a joint. This nigga, man. He's smoking a joint, and I kindly ask him to put it out, indicating the sign at the window that says no smoking. He goes ballistic, and I just shut the window until he puts it out. I take his payment and ask him to pull forward. He doesn't. He starts yelling at me and my manager and everyone else and my manager. Okay, you kind of put that twice, but okay. Who hates confrontation, is hiding and gives me a pleading look. I hate that bullshit. I can't fucking stand when managers do that crap. Oh my God, you have no idea how many times that there would be a customer that's getting all mad and this and that. And I'm just telling them the honest truth of either the policies or we don't have something, whatever the case may be. And I know they're screaming and asking for a manager, and I know the manager is going to say the same bullshit that I just told them, but that's fine. I'm going to get you a manager. And the manager sits there and it's just like, oh, well, you know, I'm just going to tell him the same thing that you tell him. So just tell him that, you know, the manager said that, you know, whatever you're saying is right. And I'm like, nigga, get your bitch ass down here and say it to their face, because they're not going to go away. And I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry, the manager's busy at this moment. If you want to wait, you can. And then they get mad and this and that. And like, oh, no, you just don't want to call them all. You just don't want them down here because you know I'm right. And it's like, bruh. All right, I'll call them again. And I call them again, and they're like, oh, man, they're still here. Like, oh, da-da-da-da. I'm like, nigga, get your bitch ass down here and deal with this customer. You know what I mean? Because I'm not trying to get mad, and at the same time, it's just like, nigga, you know, get your ass down here and deal with this customer, because I'm about to fucking throw a fit back here, man. God damn. Like, shit. You know what I mean? And then it's one of those things where it's just like, oh yeah, the manager's on their way, and then you go do something else or you help out somebody else, because I'm not about to just stand in front of you. That's weird as shit. I got other shit to do. You know what I mean? Somebody's at work. You know what I mean? And then they want to be like, oh well, where's the manager? They're not here yet. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I called him. He said he was on his way. I can't stand managers who are non-confrontational. It's like, bro, that is your fucking job as a manager, is to deal with confrontation. Like, bro, that's not my job. I don't get paid to do that. You get paid to do that. You get paid the extra Benjamins to do that shit, man. You wear the fucking suit and tie for that shit. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. I'm not about to deal with this motherfucker's problems, you know. And then they're just looking at you, you know what I mean, like that Samuel L. Jackson meme, you know what I mean. They looking at you fucking crazy and shit, and you're like, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Like the nigga said he was gonna be here, man. I don't know where he's at, and I ain't gonna go look for him. Go ahead, go look for him. You know, I've told customers that so many times. I've been like, I don't know where the manager is. You can go look for him though. You know what I mean? Because bro, I can't control the motherfucker. Like, damn. That shit used to piss me off, bro. And then when I would see him, I'd be like, you're a bitch, bro. You're a bitch. And they're like, oh, whoa, what are you talking about? I'm like, that motherfucking customer was there, and they cussed me out because your bitch ass didn't show up. Well, I was on the phone with you, motherfucker. I used to get in managers' asses, bro. I didn't give a fuck. I would get, and people would look at me like, oh my God, you're talking to the manager like that? I'm like, yeah, I'm talking to the manager like that, because the nigga's not doing his job. I had to fucking deal with Boo Boo the Fool back there for like 45 minutes over here talking about, where's your manager? Oh, you just didn't want to call him. Like, nah, get the fuck out of here. Like, I couldn't stand that shit. Oh my God. And it was always, I'm, you know, not sorry to be racist, but it was always a motherfucker who just got their EBT and they was trying to get steaks and lobster and all that shit. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It was always those people. I ain't gonna lie. It really was, because them people's, I'm like, look, man, hardly ever would I really have problems. That, and it'd be like foreign motherfuckers, you know, people with like heavy ass fucking, you know, accents and shit. Yeah, and you can't understand what the fuck they're saying. And I'm like, can you repeat that? Like, and they're like, oh, I want this, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, one more time. And they're like, I want the, and I'm like, I think I know what you're talking. Can you like point at it? And they're like, and I'm like, oh yeah, of course the oregata. God damn, yes, I know you mean ribeye, but it's the oregata. I got you. Okay, fucking Habibi. God damn it. You know, it was one of those things where, you know what I mean, it was like, oh, and there's sometimes where they would just be like, oh, can I get someone else to help me out? I'm like, yes, you can, because I am not dealing with you. There would be some days I'd come into work and I'd be like, not today, Habibi, not today. God damn, I'm already walking into this bitch pissed off. You know, like, I do not want to deal with you in a horegata. Like, fuck. I'm just saying, son. Oh, retail's the worst, bro. And there is, I'm telling you, I do not think this kid's the asshole at all. Not 1%. Because I'd probably throw his food away too. I ain't gonna cap to you. All right, let's get back to it. My rant went on too long. I'm so sorry. All right, so he said his manager, who hates confrontation, is hiding and giving a pleading look. I look at him and say, listen, with all due respect, sir, our fish is made to order, order to ensure your safety. You ordered 4 fish sandwiches. There are 12 cars wrapped around the building waiting to order. So you can stay here or you could pull forward. But either way, I'm taking your food out there. So it's up to you whether you want your food in your car or in the street. Yo, real nigga right here, man. This motherfucker said, hey, man, look, either way, I'm making this motherfucking bitch fresh, and you can either have it taken to your car or I'm gonna throw that bitch in the fucking street. Oh, Hey, man. Hey, sometimes you gotta have a backbone with people. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta throw professionalism out the fucking out the window, because professionalism only goes so far. You know what I mean? And it's like, look, dude, and obviously you do it in that manner. Like, look, man, with all due disrespect. No, I'm saying I used to do that shit all the time. I used to tell customers, with all due disrespect, man, I don't give a fuck what you want. You know what I mean? Like, at this point, I've been nice enough to you, because this was the worst part of my retail career, you know, working for State of Bells. Love that company, and they're amazing. But it's one of those things where the store I was working at, they did a whole frying fish section, and I swear to God, it was the most annoying fucking thing ever to have that section. I was like, bruh, I hate frying fish. I can't stand it. Motherfuckers be asking for the impossible. They be like, oh yeah, can you fry it hard? No, I can't. It's a machine, nigga. It drops it in the oil, and that's what happens. I can't fry it hard. And they be like, yeah, man, make it extra crispy. I'm like, I can't make it extra crispy, nigga. Again, I bread it. I put it in the basket. It drops in the oil, bro. And that's all I can do for you. And then motherfuckers would come in, and they come in like 5 minutes before we close, talk about, can you fry some fish? No. Nigga, it's 5 minutes till we close. No. What the fuck? I'm telling you, man. And I'm telling you, bro, I got so many complaints. It was crazy. It was crazy. My manager was calling me in. He was like, bro, you got so many complaints. And I'm like, yeah, you want to know why? Because I am sick and fucking tired of them fryers, bro. I told them this exactly. I said, I am sick and tired of those fryers, because people expect the absolute, They expect the impossible out of these little ass fryers. Mind you, these things were like little box fryers. You know what I mean? And that's all they were. They had a little fucking open door, and it had a little basket inside the door. And then you would put the breaded fish in the bowl, in the basket, and then you would close it. You would hit the button, and it would boop. There's no timer. Okay, I can't put it on 3 minutes and then like, oh, I'm gonna put this one on 7 minutes. No, you push the cook button. That's how it happened. You push the cook button. That's all it had. It had a cook button and an emergency stop button. That's it. And I would push the cook button, and it would automatically do it. And so I'm like, bro. And then some people be like, oh, you leaving my fish here for too long. I'm like, nigga, I pushed the cook button. That's it. And I would tell them, I'd be like, man, you try and go back there and do it. You try and deal with these customers, man. Because don't get me wrong, there's some customers, they'll get the fish, you know, I'll bread it up, and I'll do it good for them. I throw it in there, push the cook button, it comes out. I'm like, here you go, dog. And they like, man, this is great. You know, and I was like, hey, my nigga, man. You know, and then there's just those people who, for some reason, they think we running like a fish fry restaurant. And I'm like, bro, if this is a fish fry restaurant, it'd be a 2-star fucking restaurant. Because these fryers are trash, bro. I don't even know why people ate that fried fish. I ain't gonna lie to you. That shit was nasty. It was fucking nasty. I'm sorry. It was nasty. I was like, y'all niggas eat this? Ugh. I tried it once. Because I was thinking, I'm like, man, it's so popular. Everybody be buying it. And so I tried it. I threw me some, you know, I created my little tag. And, you know, fry me up some fish or whatever, you know, went up to the thing, paid for it. And then I went in the break room and I ate it. And I was like, oh my God, this tastes like hot ass. This tastes like fucking hot ass. God damn, this is trash. It was so bad. I was like, why do y'all eat this? I was so confused. I was like, why the fuck y'all eat this? It is so bad. But yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I said, bro, sometimes professionalism needs to just be thrown out the window, and you need to get real with people. You know what I mean? You just need to get real with people, because it's like, bro, I'm not about to sit here and just take all the bullshit you throwing at me. I'm going to get real with your bitch ass after a while. You know what I mean? All right, so let's get back to this. I keep ranting. I'm sorry. When it comes to this shit, bro, I worked in that retail job for 7 years. And I got so many stories. I have so much like pent up emotion about it all that I never really got to vent, you know? So whenever I get to vent about it on the podcast, boy, do I vent. Oh my God, I be venting, bro. And I know it's relatable to you guys, because you guys deal with these dumbass customers too. I know you guys do. Whether you talk to them on the phone or you deal with them in person, you deal with these dumb motherfuckers. And I'm telling you, it's one of those things where, in my retail people or anybody in customer service or anything like that, you guys know that it is a fucking modern marvel at how dumb grown ass people are. It's like, yo, you are in your mid 30s. How are you this stupid? It's insane to me, bro. It's insane. You will go through life and be like, bruh, I didn't think 40-year-old motherfucker would be this dumb. It's insane. You're like, bruh, common sense is just not common no more, bro. It's just not. I'm telling you. Okay, this thread or this thing is eating up way too much time. I'm so sorry. All right, let's get back into it. Okay. So he said, I can either bring your food out to your car or I'm throwing this bitch out in the street. And I close the window. He pulls forward after trying to yell at me through the window to no avail. And I take his food out 5 minutes later with a smile and a have a wonderful day. My manager later said I handled it well, but I still have to ask, am I the asshole? Hell nah. Hell nah. And like I said, it's because sometimes professionalism only goes so far. Like, if you're the type of person that you deal with the situations professionally and you try everything in the book and the person is just still being unruly, at that point, man, all right, man, it's time to turn real nigga status mode on and let them know for real. Like, look, bro, this is how it is. And if you don't like it, boo fucking who. So you got either this option or you got this option, but that's all you fucking got. You know what I mean? That's it. You either gonna get your fish sandwich brought to your car or you gonna get that motherfucking shit in the street. That's up to you though. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you gotta put your foot down, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think every customer like needs that kind of treatment. I really don't. Because there's a lot of times where I'll be a real ass nigga with a customer, you know what I mean? And then I'll get done with that altercation and I'll go straight to the next one. And I'm giving them straight professionalism the whole way. And a lot of times when customers see it, they're just like, hey, I'm sorry you had to deal with that. And I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. Like, I will deal with you professionally until you get me to a point where I just can no longer be professional with you, because that's not what you respond to. You know, there's some people who are just so fucking hard-headed, you know, and then they sit there and they're like, you can't talk to me like that, bitch. Yes, I can. The fuck are we talking about? You know, like, the fuck are we talking about? And me, whenever they used to ask for my name, I used to take my name tag off and I would put it on the fucking table. And I'm like, go ahead and take that up to the front with you. You know what I mean? Because, bro, I used to get up in these customers' ass, bro. Like, I had no remorse. I was like, fucking fire me then. You know what I mean? Because it's like, bro, they're in the wrong. You can't sit there and tell me I'm in the wrong. You just can't. I did everything right by the book and they still wanted to be an asshole. Like, I'm not about to sit here and just let this motherfucker just dump on me like that. No, thank you. Sorry. You know, if you actually care about us as workers and you actually give a shit about our well-being, then you're going to understand that sometimes I got to put my foot down. You know what I mean? And if I got to put it up a customer's ass, then I'm going to put it up his ass. It is what it is, man. I'm going to put my foot in your ass. And I'm going to make you turn around and feel stupid. Because, bro, it's like, you can't sit there and be treating these people any old kind of way, man. Like now that I don't work in retail, it's one of those things where whenever I do go to the grocery store or whenever I do, you know, have a waiter and stuff like that, bro, I have utmost respect because I know exactly what they're going through. And I know how hard their day is. I know how hard their job is. I know how sometimes they can't do certain things. There are policies put in place. They don't have a certain item. It's not their fault. Like, some people will take that shit personally, as if like you're personally attacking them. They would sit there. I'd be like, oh yeah, we don't have that item today. I'm so sorry. And they're like, oh, you just didn't want to go back there and check. Like, bro, I've been here for like 6 hours. Oh, don't you think that if it was back there, I would have had it out here, or I would have had this cognitive information? Like, there were so many times where I would go back there and I would just like, all right, cool. And then I walk back out and be like, hey, nah, I looked and we don't have it. When all I did was walk in, looked around for a little bit, then walk back out. Like, bro, like, come on, man. You think I don't know? You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. And my manager would get pissed at that and be like, oh, well, you're supposed to at least look. No. Why would I look? I've been here for 6 fucking hours. I know if it's there or not. I don't give a shit what it looks like. Oh, just make it look like, because that would be their rebuttal to it. They'd be like, oh, well, make it just look like you looked and everything. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to waste my time. Like, I know it's not there. Like, what the fuck? Because I remember there was one time that a customer wanted a certain item. I knew we didn't get that item in until our load came. And so I was like, no, we don't have that item until the load comes. So they come in, they want the item and everything. And I'm like, oh, we actually don't have any of that right now. We should later in the day when our load gets here. And they're like, oh, well, can you at least just like check in the back, see if, you have any? And I'm like, no, we don't have it. I will have it when the load comes, though. I know I don't have it. And they're like, oh, but you can't just check. And I'm like, why would I check when I know I don't have it? And then they got mad, and then my manager's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, I'm not about to waste my fucking time on some bullshit that I already know I don't have. Like, that is crazy to me, man. Because my thing is, some people just want you to do shit for them just for the fact that they can get you to do shit for them. And for me, I'm like, no, no. You're not going to get me to do shit for you just because you know that you can get me to do shit. Like, I'm not about to do that. Sorry. No, thank you. Like, that's fucking stupid. Like, it's crazy to me. But yeah, dude, I don't think you're the asshole at all, man. I rambled enough. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my TED Talk. God damn, we're already an hour in, and that took so much time. I'll make the episode a little longer just to get a couple more people's scenarios in, because I ranted like a motherfucker. I won't lie. All right, let's get into the next one. Female coworker keeps staring at me all the time and tries to make conversation with me, even though I have showed no interest in her. Okay, so I, 30 male, work for a timeshare exit company in sales department. My daily responsibilities are booking an appointment and reach out to prospects which deal are slipped away. Okay, I don't really talk to my coworkers, and I like to mind my own business. I also don't involve in small talk or office drama, but I can tell my coworkers are very curious about my personal life. Yeah, because they know nothing about you. That's the reason why. I go to school as well, so I have a lot on my plate, and I already have too many friends outside the office. I don't feel the need of building relationships with coworkers. In the office, I sit next to this specialist, female 26, and she likes to say hi to me, and she is kind of nosy about my personal life. I catch her staring or looking at me multiple times throughout the day while I am on the phone with my prospects, and it bothers me. I sometimes even make it clear to her by rolling my eyes, or I look into the other direction, but it does not stop her. Please advise, what should I do? I don't know why you haven't just like talked to her. You know what I mean? Like, hey, what's up? Why do you keep staring at me? Do you like need something? And I don't think she's doing this because she's interested in you. I think she's doing this because she is interested in the lack of knowledge of you. Because think about it like this. Nobody knows like about your personal life. And I think she wants to be that one person that is able to like crack you and, you know, get you to talk about your personal life. And she'll feel special about that. She can go to the other people and be like, oh yeah, you know, I know about, let's say your name is Chris. That's obviously not your name, but you know, we'll say that's your name for the instance. But you know, they're like, oh yeah, you know, I know this about Chris, or I know this about him, da 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 da, and that's what she wants. And it's weird to like say that, and a lot of people are like, oh, how do you know that? How do you know that? And it's simple because, again, back when I worked in retail, I would work at other stores. And so when I worked at other stores, you know, I was the new guy and nobody knew anything about me, but I'm the type of guy that keeps to himself, pretty quiet. I will talk to you and like, you know, entertain conversations and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to sit there and get to know you too much just because I am here temporarily. I'll be there for a day. I'll be there for a week, whatever the case may be. And a lot of girls would take intrigue in me, not because they find me attractive or anything like that, but they would take intrigue just because they know nothing about me and I'm so quiet and hush hush. I'm not telling my business to everybody. And so a lot of the girls would come up to me and they would try to ask me things and I would just be like, why do you want to know? And they're like, oh, well, just because, you know, like just to get to know you, this and that. And I'm like, well, you know, I have no reason to get to know any of you. And I would be kind of rude about it if I'm being honest with you, but it would only add to their intrigue of like, oh my God. And it's one of those things where they want to feel like they're that person that can get the information out of you and get the information and have that information like, oh, I'm the only one that knows this and stuff like that. And it's this weird thing. Not only do women do that, but dudes do it too, but to a little bit of a lesser degree. You know what I mean? It's not really that prevalent. I mean, unless he's kind of like the, I guess, popular guy of the store or wherever you work, you know, and everybody knows him and all that kind of stuff. And he's like the gossip guy. That's the only time a guy really does that stuff, but majority of the time it is the girls. And I like I said, I don't think it's necessarily that she has like feelings for you. I think it's a more of thing where she wants to be that like special person of, oh, I know this about him. Oh, I know that about him. Oh, he told me about this. He told me about that. I think that's mainly what it is. Because if it was more of a thing where she was like attracted to you, I think she would kind of be, there would be more signs of it. And the signs would be far different. But just the fact that she's kind of looking at you and the fact that, you know, she says hi to you, all that kind of stuff. I think what she's trying to do is befriend you and then get you to open up. And that way she could kind of be that special person that you're the only one that she talks to like that or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I think that's what that is. You can let me know what you think down in the comments though. And, you know, give your perspective. All right, this is going to be our last one for today's episode. All right. Yes, I made it a little bit of a longer episode because I did rant on that one. I wanted to get, you know, at least a good amount of people's scenarios in here. So am I overreacting? Roommate is jealous of my boyfriend. She wants to fuck him. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see what's up. Hey guys, I'm not super good with this, so bear with me. All right, let me break this down. Me, 21 female, and my boyfriend, 23 female, recently moved in together with my boyfriend's friend and his girlfriend. Okay. 22 female and 23 male. The girlfriend and I thought got along pretty well. We weren't besties by any means, but we were civil and friendly. Just today, when I got home from work, her boyfriend looked really down. Only he and I were home and we got a small talk conversation going. He seemed really upset and ended up telling me him and his girlfriend had been fighting. I didn't want to pry, but I told him he's free to open up if he wanted to. He ended up opening up about what went down, but avoided what she was upset about. We were talking for a bit, and eventually he told me what had been going on. I thought it was between the two of them, but to my surprise, she was upset that I would physically touch my boyfriend whenever she was talking to him. So she was mad that you touched your own boyfriend when you would talk to her boyfriend?
What?
Okay, I guess. By touching, I mean hand holding or a quick kiss. Literally nothing at all embarrassing or over physical, because I don't like doing that stuff in front of people. And not upset as in she was like, ew, they're kissing. She was upset because she assumed I was jealous of her and wanted to make my mark. What? Make her mark on her own man? Like, what the fuck? Bro, that's her boyfriend. Of course she's gonna hold his hand and touch him and kiss him. Like, what the fuck, bro? Okay. That makes absolutely no sense, but all right. She was upset because she assumed I was jealous of her and wanted to make my mark. Honestly, I was very surprised to hear this. I am not at all a jealous person, and I would not by any means have done that at all. Her boyfriend mentioned how she often projects her feelings onto other people, and honestly, I'm not sure how to take that. I don't want to assume anything, but for some reason, I got a weird suspicion that she was jealous of my boyfriend. I don't know. I could be wrong or overreacting. Apparently, she was so upset about everything she stormed out of the house. Later that day, she came home crying, and I took her out on a walk to talk about things. I never mentioned her boyfriend, and I talked, and she never mentioned any grievances with me. With me, just disappointments in her boyfriend. Okay. Okay, honestly, I don't know what to do, and I feel so confused about everything. I just want to live in a happy, comfortable home with my boyfriend without drama. Thank you guys for any tips. I appreciate your time. All right, this is what's going on. She looks at it like your boyfriend is better than mine. Why does she see that? Because she looks at it like, wow, her boyfriend is so like attentive and loving and stuff like that. Why is my boyfriend not like that? And that's what's really going on here. That she looks at it like, oh, I wish my boyfriend would do that. I wish my boyfriend was like that. She's comparing far too much, if I'm being honest with you. And I think that's where this jealousy is coming from. And so the fact that she's kind of comparing the two guys, it's like one of those things where, when a girl sees like a guy do something overly romantic on social media, she's like, oh my God, I wish my boyfriend would do something like that. And then they're looking at their man all mad, like, oh, you don't do anything like that. It's the same bullshit. Since you and your man are like super lovey-dovey, and her and her man aren't super lovey-dovey, and he's not really putting in, I guess, effort to be that lovey-dovey without her asking, kind of thing, obviously. She kind of looks at it like, oh, my man don't really love me like that then. Oh, you guys, I wish my boyfriend was like that. That's really what it is. It's one of those things where she's comparing her relationship to you guys' relationship, and so then that's making her mad, and so then she's got to throw this madness on somebody. And obviously her boyfriend even admitted that she's the type of person where she kind of projects shit onto other people, which is exactly what she's doing. She's projecting her anger onto you about her relationship not being as lovey-dovey as you guys' relationship and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty much what's just going on. And it's one of those things where it's just like, ignore her at that point. You know what I mean? I think what you should do is just, when she's feeling that way, you just ignore her. You know what I mean? Because this is never going to go away. She's always going to feel that way. And I guarantee you it's going to be a thing where you guys' relationship is going to then cause so much, like drama within their relationship. They're probably going to break up, and hopefully she doesn't try to, get with your man, because that is a possibility. So watch that bitch. I won't lie to you. Watch that bitch, because it might even happen while she's still with her boyfriend. She might try to, get some loving out of your man. So, hey, watch your back, girl. Watch your back, because she might be gunning for your dude, just in the fact that she feels like, oh, the grass is greener on the other side. Oh, why doesn't my boyfriend do that? You know what I mean? Comparison is the thief of joy, baby. Oh my God. But that's going to go ahead and be today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. If you got this far in the episode, I love you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Again, patreon.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast. Get an exclusive episode every single Friday. Over 100 hours of content over there. $3 a month, baby. Get you that exclusive episode. So get on in there. Support your boy. And like I said, It's a community that's growing over there, and I want to grow it as big as it'll get, man. My ultimate goal is to have like close to 10,000, patrons over there, where you guys are just, enjoying the extra content. We're just loving it. It's all great. So get on down there, check that out. Audio listeners, keep downloading the podcast, rating us 5 stars. You guys are the GOATs. Thank you so much for making June the highest downloaded month of this year. Thank you guys so much. That is super awesome. February was our previous highest downloaded month, and now June surpassed that. So that is super awesome. Thank you guys so much for all that support. Let's keep pushing it, man. So keep downloading the podcast, rating us 5 stars so we can get more people on in here. And then if you want to help out even more for the show, go ahead and follow us on TikTok as well as Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Our goal of 2K by the end of the year, man. Hopefully we can hit that. We are over halfway there, so let's get to it, baby. Love you guys so much. I will see you guys. If I don't stream tonight, I'll definitely see you guys on Monday. So we will be streaming on Monday, most definitely. I'll probably be streaming very early in the day, so if you guys want to check that out, definitely get in there. We'll be streaming on TikTok, TikTok, Twitch, Kick, as well as YouTube. All right, I ain't gonna lie to you. I've heard word on the street is that YouTube, we be streaming in 1440p. I mean, you didn't hear from me. That's the grapevine. All right, but I love you guys so much. I will see you guys later, and peace.